So basically, daf bet amud bet in the middle of the daf, what we're talking about as follows. Yeah, we're saying like this. We just said that it's mashma right now that the stam is going to be lishma. So he says, no, dilma shaneata. Maybe it's different over there, because we say kol osel dad lishonauza, which means you're doing according to the first dot. Elami seifa. Let's see the seifa over there. There it says ketzadi machshevet shelo lishma velishman. L'shem shamim u'shem pesach. If you're going to say l'shem shamim u'shem pesach, tam adam l'shem shamim u'shem pesach, but you did stama u'shem pesach. Right? That means at the beginning of the shchita, you did it stama. And then afterwards, you said L'Shem Pesach. It's going to be kosher. So it's not going to be pasul, even though the beginning of the shchita was stam. That means like this. The beginning was that I thought it was going to be a Pesach, but then at the time, I didn't say anything. So I say I go back to the original de facto. I go original thought. What happens if I did the opposite? I come and do the shchita. I didn't think about anything. And then afterwards, I come and say L'Shem Pesach. Do you say the same thing? Because here, I only said L'Shem Pesach after the Shechita. Après the Shechita, to di L'Shem Pesach.
Sure, it's Stam.
So it's Tama. So Dima Shanehatam says the Gemara, De'amrin and Yochiach Sofol Tchilato. They're also going to say the same thing. The end result is going to teach you about the beginning. Meaning, since at the end I came and I said L'Shem Pesach, so that means obviously the beginning was also L'Shem Pesach, even though I didn't actually say it. So Yinami, or if you want, you could say, I did Tanan Lishma and Lo Lishma, Tanan Shalo Lishma and Lishma. Since we already taught what is Lishma and Lo Lishma, so we saw Shalo Lishma and Lishma. Ela Meha, you're right. There's another Mishnah. The Mishnah says like this: the Shem Shishat Varim Zevach Mizbach. Do you know that the Zevach is going to be slaughtered for 6 things? The Shem Zevach, for the one that is the Korban, right? The actual Korban in itself. So, for example, Olah, Shlamim, whatever it is. The Shem Zoveach, right? For the one which is bringing it, meaning the Baalim, the owners. L'shem Hashem, for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. L'shem Ishim, to bring it on the fire, right? So that way, basically, L'ktira emurim be'esh. L'shem Reach, for a good smell, a fragrance. L'shem Nichuach, which is another fragrance, right? V'chatat ve'asham l'shem chet. So that's like the Nichuach and the Chatat ve'asham. So 6 things. So that means there's 6 reasons behind the Qurban. It's not steps, but steps we already learned there's 4, right? There's the Shchita, Kabbalat Adam, Holacha, Zrikat Adam. Here, there's 6 concepts of the Qurban. You have which Qurban, the ones bringing the Qurban, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Reach, yeah, Ishim Reach, the Esh and then the Reach, and then Nichuach. Okay? That's what he said, Reach Nichuach. I just said. When every time you bring a korban, that's what you have to have kavanah. You're a kohen, no? Every time they bring a korban, they have to have these in mind. Of course. You say habechor, habechor, the maaser. No, you don't say korbanot. You say habechor v'maaser. So he says like this. So he says, Amar Rabbi Yosef says, even if he didn't have all these things in his mind, kasher shetnai bet dinhu, because that's a tnai bet din, meaning tiknu bet din to do shchita stam and not even to say what it is. So atnu bet din delo leimo lishma, dilma ati leimo shelo lishma. So basically, bet din instituted that you're not going to say the lishma in order that you're not going to say the shelo lishma. Yeah. So he comes and he says like this. So he says. If you're going to tell me Sama Pasul, says what? If you're going to tell me it's Pasul, Bedin are going to do such a thing? So says the Gemara, okay, fine. So now let's see about the get. The Gabe get, the Stama Pasul Minala. How do you know that a get stam is going to be Pasul? How do you know? If you're going to tell me that it's going to be that which we learned in a Mishnah, right? Aya over Bashuk, Veshama, Sofrim. What happens if a person's going past the marketplace and he hears Sofrim, Makrin, Ish Ploni, Girish Ploni, Makum Ploni. Somebody's getting divorced his wife from this place. Ve'aman, he says, wow, this is my name. Zeshemi, Zeshemi, it's the name of my wife. Yeah? So he says, Pasul Gareshbo. Right? He's not allowed to come and he's not allowed to be Megareshbo. He's not allowed to be Megareshbo. Right? With this get. So he says, Dilma Kedrav Papa, Damrav Papa, Hacha Besofrim Asulin Tlamed, right? Veskina, Velo Ichtuv Leshum Kritut Klal. They didn't write it at all, Lishma. They didn't write it Leshem Kritut. Okay, ela meha. So there's another one then. Where are we learning it from? Meha, where it's written yetel al ken katav legeresh et ishto v'nimlach. Right? V'metzao ben iro ve'amar lo shemi kishimcha v'shem ishcha. You know like this. He comes, he wants to divorce his wife. So he goes to the sofer, he writes the get. Why? She burned to the cholent. Right? She burned the adafina. Right? All of a sudden, he comes back home and she's begging for her life and she really apologizes. And you know how it is. A man's a man, and then he forgets. But he still got the get. But he's not going to give it to her anymore. Because she made up with him, and that's it. Yeah. She did, massaged his feet. She this, that, the how do you call it with your marshmallows and shoko? Right. He's in the seventh heaven anymore. Right? So he's not going to divorce her. So what happens now? All of a sudden he's walking down the street and he sees this guy that his face is Tisha B'Av. Right? So he tells him, hey, what's going on? Shalom Bayit. This is 1 second. We have the same name, and the wives have the same name. Take the get. Give it to her. Shmi keshimcha, shem ishti keshem ishtecha. Here, bechavod. Remember, there's no last names in the get. It's, Yaakov ben Yitzhak. Yeah, it's Rachel but Rivka. Like that. Yes, no, that's why I said it had to be the same city. Same city, though. Same city. For example, here in Miami, the 90% of all gitin are done in Miami Beach. I mean, even if they live in Surfside, Hollywood, usually Boca, I think they might have their own bedin, so maybe they do it there in Boca. Maybe, I'm not sure. But for sure, in basically all of Miami, 90% are done in Miami Beach. Once in a Paul and a time in Hollandale, maybe North Miami. Usually it's Miami Beach. Understand? So that's the concept. So anyway, but Bezat Hashem, we continue tomorrow. Bezat Hashem.